Hello everybody, I welcome you to my YouTube channel. Now if you are new here, I want to tell you that my name is Siddhant Rai and I have a playlist going on where I'm trying to do something absurd. Now what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to deconstruct and explain the process that one must go through in order to be able to understand one's personal calling and live it out effectively. Now if you have been following my work, you already know what all this is about. And in this episode, I'm going to talk to you all about the first half of the groundwork, which is the art of listening to your soul. So, yes, let's get started. In the previous episode, I told you that the art of listening to your soul can be learned, but doing this requires a person to have a clear understanding of a few other concepts like spirituality, meditation, the working of the human mind, and the working of the universe. Now, my journey so far has been very random. It had no sequence at all. I picked up one book, and that book led me to another, and then another, until I came across several different books, out of which a few have helped me understand this art much better. Now, I must tell you that I'm nowhere close to mastering this art, but I've definitely made some progress, and I'm very hopeful for the future. Now, also, I took a lot of different classes online, classes that I will suggest you look into as well, because the amount of value I've received from these classes is totally insane. The first book which gave me a glimpse of what the human mind was capable of was The Secret by Rhonda Byrne. Now, this is a very popular book, and I'm sure a lot of you have come across this as well. It has received a lot of praises, but at the same time faced a lot of criticism. Now, the main insight, the most important insight that this book provides is that the human mind can be used to attract wealth, resources, and experiences into your life by merely thinking. Now, if you haven't been a student of the mind, it'll be very hard for you to digest insights like these at first. And being skeptical will obviously be the first response. I get it. I was very skeptical too. However, what happened was I followed the instructions laid out in this book, and something happened which made me open to the possibility of this bizarre concept being true. The secret is about the law of attraction, the idea that whatever you hold in your mind and believe in shall come to pass. Now, using the law of attraction has three essential parts. The first part is called ask. Now, in this part, you have to be crystal clear about what it is that you want to attract into your life. It is not enough, if you want to attract money into your life, it is not enough to say that I want some money or I want more money. You have to be precise about the amount of money that you want to attract into your life. That is the first part. The second part is called believe. Now, this is a slightly trickier part, but I've realized that this gets easier with practice. It is about tricking your mind into believing that whatever you want to attract into your life has already come to pass. For example, let us say you want to attract 2000 rupees into your life. If you follow this part correctly, you must visualize that you are already in possession of the money. It is not enough for you to think that you are in possession of the money. You must feel it. There is a vast difference here. Now, this sounds slightly tricky at first, but for now, just understand that emotion is the feeling portion of thoughts. Emotion is the feeling portion of thoughts, and your thoughts must be emotionalized in order for this to work. The last part of using the law of attraction is called receive. It is about living in the feeling tone of having received that which you asked for after you're done visualizing. Think about it this way. You go to a restaurant, you call the waiter, and he's there to take your order, and you ask for some pizza. Now, once he's done taking the order and he goes back into the kitchen, you're not gonna worry about the waiter bringing you a burger instead of a pizza, right? You know for sure that what you're about to get is a pizza, because that is what you asked for. The law of attraction works in a similar way. Once you ask the universe or any higher power you believe in, once you ask whatever it is that you want to attract into your life, you must be able to live in the feeling tone that whatever you've asked for has already come to pass. Now, how do you do it? This requires you to have a certain level of faith in any higher power you believe in. The higher power which I believe in is the universe, but we'll talk about all of this some other time. The law of attraction and the secret won't work if you miss out on any of these three steps. It won't work if you are not precise on what it is that you want to attract into your life. It won't work if you cannot arouse the feelings of having received that which you ask for, and it won't work if you follow the first two steps but are still skeptical about your ideal outcome coming to pass once you're done visualizing. Once I was done reading about this, I wanted to see if it actually worked. So I did something which actually made me believe in the law of attraction, and I want to share this incident with you all. I was seated on my study table early in the morning trying to manifest a crisp 2000 rupee note into my life. This was the first time I was trying to use the law of attraction. Now, I was there seated on my study table with my eyes closed, trying to visualize myself in possession of the money as best as I could. And the funny part was, I was actually able to visualize myself in possession of the money. And being able to do so was making me extremely happy even with my eyes closed. And upon realizing this, I couldn't help but laugh. I got off my seat and went on with my day. Now, there is a bookstore cum cafe in my hometown called Cafe Fiction, where I frequently visit in order to work, read, do all of my work stuff. And I was there about 3 days after I was done trying to manifest things into my life. And to be honest, I had already forgotten about it. As I was reading the book, my peripheral vision caught a glimpse of someone walk into the room. And as I shifted my gaze from the pages of the book to the person who just walked into the room, it caught me by surprise. It was someone I knew. It was my dad's friend. And he wasn't just any friend of my dad. He was the friend who used to always give me money whenever we bumped into each other. Now, he said hi and he went out, probably to get a smoke. And he disappeared for about 15 minutes. And for the entire duration, I couldn't focus on my reading. If he walked back in and handed me money like he always did, it would mean that I'd start believing in something which had nothing to do with logic. And guess what happened? He walked back in, handed me some money, and what he handed me was a crisp 2000 rupee note. He handed me the money and casually walked out of the cafe. My mind was blown. Now, this was not the only instance where I saw the law of attraction work. I've had countless other experiences of this sort after that experience, and it is now my conviction that the law of attraction definitely works. I told this to some of my friends, and some of them tried it in their own lives. One friend of mine received a wallet from his dad as a gift when he was merely thinking about getting a new wallet, because the wallet that he was using then was torn and tattered. And if you care to take the time out to look up the testimonials of people who swear by the law of attraction, you'll find plenty of them. This book and the experiences which followed after I followed the instructions laid out in this book opened me to the possibility of the existence of a world beyond what is visible. Things got really interesting. It aroused in me a thirst to know what was happening. How could it happen? How could I manifest things into my life by merely thinking? And it wasn't as if I was able to manifest everything that I wanted in my life. I failed plenty of times, but I could not deny the fact that I was able to manifest things into my life a good number of times. I needed answers. I've now realized that being able to manifest things into your life depends a lot on your faith, but that discussion is for some other time. After I was done reading and experimenting with The Secret, I picked up various different books. And one of the books I came across which gave me more clarity regarding this subject was The Power of the Subconscious Mind by Dr. Joseph Murphy. In this book, he talks about how the human mind has two different parts. The conscious part, the conscious mind, which is the thinking part of our mind, and the subconscious mind. Now, he also speaks about how the conscious mind, if used in a certain way, could influence the subconscious mind. And this was a revolutionary concept when it was first introduced in the world, because the subconscious mind is where all of our beliefs regarding abundance, our beliefs regarding wealth, relationships, health, all of our beliefs are lodged. The subconscious mind has all of our beliefs in it, and it is also the bridge between our conscious thinking mind and infinite intelligence. Now, the concept of infinite intelligence is a vast concept, and it will require a separate video of its own. But for now, just understand that The concept of infinite intelligence is one of the most important concepts in the book Think and Grow Rich, which has been the #1 book on success ever since it was published first in 1937. For now, it is enough for us to understand that once we gain the cooperation of infinite intelligence, the world becomes a sort of a magical place. You start seeing synchronicities everywhere. You pick up your phone, you see times like 111, 222, 1111, things of that sort on a day-to-day basis. And things which seem to appear like coincidences happen all the time. I don't even want to talk about it because it seems too good to be true, but I promise you, it's real. This sounds absurd because we live in a society where most people do not know about concepts like these because the education system does not talk about these. But I'm not here to condemn the education system. I'm here to tell you that these are real and there have been people who've known about this and they've been using it to their advantage for years and years. Once you gain the cooperation of infinite intelligence, and this can be done to known principles, once you gain the cooperation of infinite intelligence, ideas flow more freely in your head and you become a greater innovator. People like Steve Jobs knew about these and embraced it so much so that he brought innovations into the world which revolutionized some industries forever. I kept on reading different books, and the next book which had an element of mystery in it was The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. Now this book has had a huge impact on my life in terms of knowing and understanding myself. I don't even want to begin talking about it because a lot of you will call me crazy if I tell you about the kind of things that I've learned from this book, but let me just go ahead and say it. It talks about how all of us humans have a mind, an instrument which is responsible for making the human species the most advanced species on planet Earth. It is because of the human mind that we can have food delivered to our doorsteps in minutes by merely pressing the right buttons on our phone screens. We've learned how to fly, and now the bird is a poor competition when it comes to flying. The human mind is a superb instrument if used rightly. If used wrongly, however, it becomes very destructive. To put it more accurately, it's not that we use our minds wrongly. Most of the times, we are not using our minds at all. Our minds use us. Now, what I mean to say by this is, if I tell you to stop thinking, if you do not have a meditation practice, if you've never had a meditation practice, and if I ask you to try and stop thinking, you probably cannot. And by thinking, I simply mean the continuous stream of thought that goes on inside of your head, accompanied by a voice. That's probably your own voice. If we are made to do this, we cannot stop thinking. Now, what does this mean? This means that we do not have conscious control over our minds. And this is considered normal in this society because almost every single one of us suffers from this disease. I was introduced to the concept of meditation while reading this book. Now, I had used apps like Headspace to learn about meditation before that, but it hadn't been of much use. In this book, the author simply said that we can live in two states, the state of thought and the state of presence. Now, whenever we are thinking, we are in a state of thought, and this is when our mind is in use. However, if we make it a point to become very aware of whatever is going around and within us, something interesting happens. Meditation can be of various different types. Let me tell you all about one. Have you found an off button for your mind? No, really. Can you tell your mind to stop thinking at will, and will it listen to you? Now, if you do not have a meditation practice, it'll be very hard for you to do so. And the way to make your mind stop thinking thoughts is by simply bringing your awareness and shifting your focus to the present moment. Focus on anything that is happening in the present moment. See, you are breathing. Even while you're watching this video, you are breathing. You might not be aware of it, and most of us, most of the times, are not aware of our breathing. The body breathes. we breathe even when we are asleep. So the breathing is actually a very interesting thing. We can choose to do it. It is something we can make happen. We can choose to breathe. But it is also something which keeps on happening even when we are not thinking about it. Now, if I slow things down, and focus on the present moment, I can become aware of my own breath. I can become aware of the sounds which surround me. And right now I'm in the middle of a forest and there's a stream right beside this, so I can hear the sound of the stream. Now, once you do this, once you shift your focus to anything that is happening in the present moment, the trick is to anchor yourself to the present moment. Could be anything. Could be listening to the sound of the cars honking outside, could be the sound of the dogs barking, could be being aware of your own breath. Anything that is happening in the present moment. As soon as you do this, there is a gap in your stream of thoughts and your mind stops thinking for a while. Now, if you try to stay in this level of awareness, of being aware of everything that is going on around you, your mind stops thinking thoughts. But if you are really aware, you'll realize that the mind starts thinking thoughts again, and this happens unconsciously. You have lots and lots of unintentional thoughts, and so does every single other person around you. Now, if you are really aware, and when you are trying to not think by shifting your focus to the present moment, and if you can observe your mind thinking thoughts, treat your thoughts as if they are just happening in nature. Like the dogs bark, they are just happening in nature. The bees, they fly, they make honey, it's happening in nature. And these unintentional thoughts, if you treat them as happenings and you become their observer. Now see what is happening here. You are observing yourself, which means that there are two of you. Now, which one is the real you? The beginning of freedom is the realization that you are not the thinker. Knowing this enables you to observe your mind from a distance. The moment you start watching the thinker, a higher level of consciousness sets in. Being the observer and watching the thinker means that you are in a state of presence and not in a state of thought. And once we are able to do this, we feel a sense of connectedness and oneness with all that there is, including the plants, the animals, everything that is around you. But initially, this sense of connectedness lasts only for short bursts of time. This observer has been given a lot of different names. People call it the higher self, the greater self, being. People even call it God. But I want to forward to you one piece of advice that I've received from the author of this book. He says, all names point towards something, and do not get caught up in names. What he means by this is, the word water does not necessarily mean the thing which flows through the rivers and into the oceans, just like the word rock does not mean this. Right? Now, as Alan Watts once put it, he said, we cannot get wet with the word water. I've been telling you about being able to listen to your soul, and I genuinely want to help you do it for yourself. But this will require you to have a clear understanding of certain different concepts. Now, what I can do is, I can point you towards the teachers that I have learned from. Teachers who are way better at teaching these than me. And the thing is, I read books and I also took a few classes online. And I genuinely hope that you understand the importance of learning about this and you choose to teach yourself about these subjects. The books which have helped me in this journey are The Secret by Rhonda Byrne, The Power of the Subconscious Mind by Dr. Joseph Murphy, and The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. And the classes which I took online, classes without which I would have never known things which I now know, are classes offered by Mind Valley. Mind Valley is an online personal development company which is trying to make college education obsolete by 2025. It offers courses on various different subjects taught by the best teachers in the world, like Vishen Lakhiani, Robin Sharma, Jim Quick, Lisa Nichols, and the list goes on and on and on. Out of the various courses they offer, the few which have helped me better understand this art of listening to my soul are Be Extraordinary by Vishen Lakhiani, The M Word by Emily Fletcher, and Life Visioning Mastery by Reverend Michael Beckwith. After studying these books and after learning from these teachers, I've come to realize that the only person that you need to listen to in order to receive guidance is yourself. These days, I sit in silence on my meditation couch and have insights and ideas come to me. It's a very surreal feeling. I understand that whatever I told you probably made you go, "What the hell?" But that's fine though. What I want you to understand is that reading these books and taking these classes which I mentioned will definitely make you understand your deepest desires and understand your most authentic self. See, it's not really necessary to do these, but it will definitely help. Just like you can go from your house and go to the departmental store 7 kilometers away, do some groceries, and walk back home. But having a car would definitely help, right? That's what I'm talking about. Taking these classes and reading these books will definitely help you on your journey of discovering your life's purpose. However, if you would listen to me, I don't want you to begin exploring these subjects right away. I do not want you to start doing the first half of the groundwork. I'm in no position to tell you what to do and what not to do. But see, I'm trying to be of help here. If I could go back in time to the point where I had just graduated from high school with the knowledge that I now possess regarding doing the groundwork, I would do this. The first thing that I would do is I would begin my deliberate self-improvement journey. Now, what exactly is the deliberate self-improvement journey? I will tell you about what this is in detail in the next video, but for now, let me just give you a gist of what it is. As human beings, all of us have three essential parts: the mind, the body, and the soul. The mind is our brain. It is the instrument which allows us to think, to store memory, to retrieve information stored in our memory, and based on which we can think about the past and anticipate the future. Now, the body is, understanding the body is easy. It's what's visible is this. We have our hands, our five sense organs which let us see, hear, smell, taste, and feel. Now, in itself, the body has zero thinking capabilities. So if you are to pick up a glass of water, what happens is your mind will signal your body to pick it up. So your body will reach out for the glass of water and you can have it in front of you. Now that is how the mind and the body work together. Now the soul is slightly tricky, and some people even deny the existence of anything that is called the soul. But I always tell them this. Consider a person who is alive and 10 minutes later he dies. What is it that he had when he was alive that he does not now that he's dead? What is it? You can give it different names. You can call it energy, you can call it the breath, and for simplicity's sake, I'm just calling it the soul. Deliberate self-improvement is a conscious decision to work on these three parts of ourselves and nurture them on a daily basis. To be smarter, more healthy, and let's say, more soulful. And on this very journey, we will learn about the art of listening to our soul, among other things. As I told you earlier, my journey has been very haphazard. It had no sequence at all. The books I read, the classes that I took, and the subsequent meditation sessions which followed the lessons I got from those classes and books I read, they have given me a lot of ideas, a lot of insights, and so much of understanding about myself and what it is that I truly want out of life. Now, all of this, which was random for me, can be done in a very structured way. And this can be included within the self-improvement journey. Now, if you are willing to walk the path of deliberate self-improvement, I want to tell you that it will be the best decision that you'll ever make in your own life. If you are willing to do this chunk of work on yourself, I'm very happy and excited for you. Now, will it be easy? Of course, it won't be easy. It'll require you to put in more effort and it'll require you to work harder than you are told to. But I promise you, it'll all be worth it. 2021 is a few weeks away. Give me a hashtag Dreamer Tribe in the comment section below if you are ready to make 2021 the year when you take the driver's seat of your life and start taking massive action. I will tell you everything that I've learned about the self-improvement journey, point you towards the best teachers that I've learned from, and slowly build a community of people who discuss ideas of these sort so that all of us have a safe space where we can contribute and grow together. This is what Dreamer Tribe is all about. I'm super excited for whatever is ahead of us. That is it for this video, guys. Now in the next video, I will tell you about how you can start walking the path of deliberate self-improvement. So you can learn about the subjects which will help you discover your life's purpose and at the same time help you build a strong character. Thank you so much for watching until the end, and to my regular viewers, thank you for all the love and support that you've been showering me with. It's honestly very overwhelming. Now, if you liked what you just watched and if you found it beneficial and if you feel so compelled, do consider sharing it with the people you know. It would really mean a lot to me and will help me grow my channel and ultimately create the Dreamer Tribe that I've been dreaming of. Until next time, my friends, take care.